If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll quickly notice that I'm horrible at Terraria multiplayer PvP. Well, I've been invited to a Terraria PvP event hosted by GitGudWO, consisting of more than 20 huge Terraria creators. The event main objective is a battle royale against one another in a Terraria PvP server. But in order for me to join the event, since I own the PvP server, they had to nerf me by making me play the game solo while they play in a team of 2. And yeah, let's just say that things don't end up going very well. But before I joined the tournament, I decided to practice a bit in my public PvP server. You too can join the public Discord to play with us. In this public game, the game started as usual. We spawned from the sky. In this game, I got really lucky. I scared of a guy, looted a chest and found myself near an enchanted sword shrine underneath a mineshaft entrance. I quickly obtained the enchanted sword. Using the newly obtained enchanted sword, I was able to swiftly kill an unsuspecting victim that tried to put up a fight against me. I guess better luck next time. Afterwards, I traveled to the right side of the world and found myself in the beach biome. Not long after arriving, I found two guys that were trying to fight each other. Let's just say that my arrival broke up their fight. I chased the guy that was nearest to me. He kept on trying to run away from me, but as soon as he hit a corner of a tall seashell block, I was able to stunlock him with my enchanted sword projectile, swiftly killing him. Afterwards, of course I gotta be fair and square, so I chased after the other guy, as he was falling and traveling down the mineshaft, and so is my enchanted sword projectile. I mean, what can I say, I'm a man of equality. I looted most of the mineshafts like usual, and as I was exploring the mineshaft, I met yet another guy. I decided that it would be appropriate to engage combat with him, but it looks like his chain guillotine said otherwise. So I had to quickly run away to take cover. But while I was running away, instead of Regen Potion, I accidentally drank Ranger Fate Potion. And as you can see, Ranger Fate Potion nerfs all weapon type damage, except Ranger, by a whopping 80%. But luckily, I was able to escape and run away from the guy. Then to make sure it's safer, I drank a surface potion to teleport myself back to the surface, and got myself back to the beach biome. While still being clueless, I chopped down some woods and explored the surface. And oh hey, look, I spot a guy doing absolutely nothing in the dirt pit. Well, let's beat the shit out of him for doing absolutely nothing for no reason at all. Why did I not realize my enchanted sword was barely tickling the guy? Like bro, the worst part is I did not even give up. I still haven't realized that I drank Ranger Fate Potion earlier, so I kept on chasing the guy and hitting him for barely any damage. I legit thought my internet was lagging or something. But finally, I gave up trying to kill the guy, and I decided to target another guy that just came out of a portal. But instead, in the process, I teleported myself using the said portal, and yet again met another guy. Unluckily, I was overwhelmed by the desert mobs. But this was also the moment I realized that I had Harpoon in my inventory and I switched to it. To say that I obliterated the guy I just spotted with my newfound knowledge and realization would be an understatement. Oh, I also found this portal that teleported me to the edge of the map. Luckily, I still had surface potion, or else I'd probably be dead by the storm. While I was chilling and crafting stuff, a random guy came up to me out of nowhere. Well, he asked for it, so the duel with Harpoon against Chain Guillotine begins. Honestly, it's quite a rough duel. It's much harder to aim with Harpoon, but hey, I'm something of a professional myself. I got quite some experience with this weapon. Let it be a lesson to not mess with a guy chilling and crafting in the middle of nowhere. Afterwards, I crafted a full silver armor and found myself in the jungle biome. I traveled and explored down the jungle mineshaft. Oh, and look at that, two unsuspecting victims, ready to be brutally dissected by my harpoon. How convenient. Of course, I can't let just the other guy escape. He did try to put up a good fight with boulder stuff, even escaping with a portal too. That's a clever move, but you know, I too can enter the portal, swiftly killing him. Conveniently, another guy was also in the mineshaft near the death location. How delightful. I'm such a lucky man. Of course, nobody could escape my destructive harpoon, yet swiftly killing another person. But everything's too easy. I am sensing danger. And yup, would you look at that, I was correct. A guy with full jungle gear and thunder zapper came down and tried to kill me. From all my previous lessons, I knew I could not possibly win a fight against this person, so I quickly backed out and ran away. Then as I resurfaced, I tried to bomb down a meteorite crater to get myself some meteorite gear. And would you look at that? Out of a random nowhere, someone came and stole all of it. How fucking wonderful. I tried to chase the guy, but the guy successfully ran away. Anyways, as I was saying, I bombed down a meteorite crater and what the fuck? The same exact guy stole all of it again. Bro, what the fuck? I had to regain my composure and calm down. I just need to focus. So I calmed down and crafted myself a proper grappling hook. and I went back to the corruption only to yet again confront the guy in jungle armor. I knew I had no chance against him, especially with those invisible boulders hitting me with my horrible internet. Like, come on, let's just rewind and slow motion it a bit. How did those boulders hit me? I completely dodged them in my screen. So I decided, if I'm going to die, I'm taking him down with me by baiting him to fall down a corruption hole. He took himself out by fall damage. But sadly, yeah, I also died in the process. But hey, would you look at that? The jungle guy died first before me. So I'd very much say it was a satisfying death. Do you know what's the most ironic part? Remember the guy that stole my meteorites earlier? Well, that guy came back and took both of our loot. Maybe sometimes the less we try hard, the easier it is to win. Afterwards, I did some more practice games. I did very well in some few games, but I really mostly lost all of them. And I think that's enough practice. Now it is time to play the Creators Tournament. And yep, I am 1 against 20 other creators. As the game starts, I already have to be way more careful than other players. I went down a mineshaft near the spawn location as it usually has the least amount of players. Looted a lot of chests while still being careful and wary about my surrounding. As a solo player, of course, I'd be at a huge disadvantage. But I won't let that stop me. I have to be way more careful during early game as 2 players could easily pin me down as I am solo. Along the way, I found myself good chest locations like these 2 ice chests over here. I bombed down some obsidians and almost burned and killed myself by falling down to the lava. Bombed down some demonite ores and crafted myself a full shadow armor gear. I got some loot from chest shrines, and while I was exploring, I saw Necro being chased by Phantasm and CJ while falling down the mineshaft I was in. The perfect opportunity for me to steal the kill. So I pinned down Necro using my chain guillotines and killed him. I got some of his loots, very neat. However, the consequences of my actions led me to encountering the Phantasm and CJ duo. Luckily, I drank mobility potion earlier and I was able to clutch and escape from their grasp. This escape made me miss out on a meteorite crater. I could have gotten some meteorite loots if I'd been more careful. Damn, those duos really are relentless, huh? Anyways, I was able to escape to the snow biome. And as I went back to spawn, oh hey, I found the CJ and Phantasm duo again. But this time, they are being blasted away by Dew and Mars. Well, you know I love chaos, so I also contributed to killing these duos using my chain guillotines. Well, it looks like that now I am the one being targeted. Luckily, using a combination of my mobility skills, I was able to run away and escape their snowball cannon wrath. I camped and built a bit to stall the time, but as the storm was closing in, I had to go back to the spawn. And yes, my predictions were correct. All the YouTubers were there fighting against one another. I had to be way more careful to not get stunlocked by the fight. I tried my best to poke some of the creators using my grappling hook strat, but I failed and I slipped, taking a huge amount of fall damage. As I slipped, Cine is already waiting on the ground to finish me off. I tried my best to knock him away using my chain guillotine, but to no avail, I couldn't escape as the storm was closing in. Mars also flew down using his meteorite armor and bombarded me with his snowball cannon. And of course, it resulted in my death. But hey, I did quite good placing at the 3rd place. Alright, time for the next game. This time, I spawned on the most right side of the world in the ocean biome. I looted a lot of the chests like usual, you guys get it. There were a lot of looting. I'll just show you guys the interesting part. My Spelunker potion revealed a hidden unlooted shadow chest on the corruption biome. So I bombed the blocks around it and found out that it contained a dead sickle inside. This was an absolutely insane find. Then I bombed down a lot of corruption ores and crafted myself a full shadow armor set. At this point, I am very powerful with my gears, so I proceeded to resurface. And as I got back to spawn, I met Valor and purple hair guy with their fossil armor set. It is 2 against 1, but I knew with my min-max melee gear, I had the chance to fight against them. But it looks like that they are the one that is taking caution against me, as they retreated and played safe. But I realized the fight really won't go anywhere, so I stopped and went to the right side, just to meet a loot corpse of someone's dead. I did not get any much useful loot from the corpse, but as I went up, I met Uncle Danny and Diverman Sam building a bridge. Wow, that's crazy. Anyways, I started blasting my dead sickle that was able to pierce through their bridge. It was a 2 versus 1, but they really stood no chance against my dead sickle, as I focused on one person at a time. Diverman Sam tried to throw sticky bombs so that it would explode and stop me, but fortunately for me, his plans failed. Their death was proven to be useful as they had quite good gears. Anyways, I continued on to build the bridge Danny and Diver was building, only to be confronted by Valor and purple hair guy. I had no tiles to take over from their thunder zapper, so I had to make a hard decision to jump down and take a massive fall damage. I struggled to survive, only to again be confronted confronted by another duo, this time by Chippy and Adrian. At this point, I was absolutely obliterated and stunlocked with projectiles. It felt like a stuffed cream pie with 4 people destroying me from all sides around. I knew I had absolutely no chance, but I tried my best to retaliate despite me being overwhelmed by tons of bombs and weapon projectiles. I put up quite a fairly decent fight, but in the end, I still died. Anyways, next game. In this game, I played more cautiously and decided to not mess around with players early game. My ass got saved by a random mineshaft I found after falling down a corruption pit. Then something amazing happened. I found a corruption chest with a dead sickle inside of it. Then I proceeded to loot around and crafted myself some gears. With the power of that sickle, every obstacles become easy. While I was bombing down some demonite ores, I encountered another creator, but my insane reflex allowed me to drink surface potion, completely avoiding the fight. I crafted full corruption gear in the surface. I'm a bit surprised that they did not chase after me. With full corruption gear and that sickle, I think I'm pretty much all set. I just need to get few obsidians and craft myself an obsidian skull for extra defense. And I think I'm all set. I avoided any possible confrontations with duos that has powerful gears. And I found this weird contraption of dirt bridge. It is quite peculiar what's happening up here. And on the dirt bridge, I encountered Diverman Sam. Since he was all alone, I decided to confront him with the help of my dead sickle. But while I was chasing him, we also encountered Phantasm and CJ duo. But I did not budge, and I kept on attacking Diverman Sam, resulting in me being able to kill him. Now I'm the one being targeted by the Phantasm and CJ duo. I was absolutely being cornered by projectiles and had nowhere to go other than this water pit. I tried to stall out the time so that I could use surface potion. I even built an obsidian wall to block the attacks, but to no avail as the duos threw their bombs. The bombs exploded right in my face and killed me. But hey, at least I died with honor. On game 4, there is really nothing interesting. I got a really bad spawn, with absolutely no chest nor loot to be found. The situation was so horrible, even Chippy and Adrian duo spared me. Then I got completely overwhelmed by the eaters in the corruption biome. I did not notice my health bar sitting at 7 HP. And yep, I just died to the eaters. Yeah, I suck at Terraria PvP.